I'm in Southie. It's like 3, 4 in the morning. And I'm hanging out with my buddy, Pat Barrett, who I always talk about. My buddy, John Paul, who's been on the podcast many times. Many people love him. You guys always ask about him when I see John Paul. The hilarious John Paul Rivera was there. And we were just hanging out, 3 of us. 3 in the morning on a Saturday. We all did our different shows or hung out with different hoes. And now we're just hanging out, the 3 of us. Me and Pat, level 10 stoned on marijuana, taking big bong hits, getting real fucked up. John Paul Rivera drinking vodka straight. Me and John Paul did a show together. It was a fun time. John Paul got kind of shit-faced at the show. Then he buys a bottle of vodka, and we're going back to the place, and I'm fucking getting stoned, and then we run, and then Pat's there when we get there. So that's what happens. So then, but it's the same scenario either way. We're all fucked up, and it's like 3 in the morning, and we're all hanging out. And we started watching YouTube movie trailers and watching them. Then movie trailers somehow led into watching some MMA stuff. And then that somehow, I mentioned something about Hitler still being alive in this cool documentary clip I'd seen about it. And then we watched that. And then we started talking about dictators. And then we watched this like Saddam Hussein taking power, Christopher Hitchens clip you should check out if you've never seen it, but it's very disturbing and powerful. And now it's like 4 in the morning and we're all fucked up and things are getting dark. We're watching like these sad, dark YouTube videos. And I got the fucking, control of the TV, and I'm like, we gotta get something fucking lighthearted in here. In my head, that's what I'm thinking. Then John Paul's like, oh my god, my mom... He's like checking his text or whatever. He's like, I got a text from my mom. It's like 3 paragraphs long. He's, John Paul's hammered. He's like, it's 3 paragraphs long. So he's like, I'm gonna read it and show you how long it is. So he starts reading it as fast as he can. And it's just like a text from mom. It's like, we went out, but his parents went to a comedy club and he's a comedian, so they were telling him about the comedian they saw. And it's a bunch of blah-bitty-blue-blue, but she mentioned something about seeing a heckler at the club, and the heckler had 2 female escorts. Now, the word escorts in my mind triggered my thoughts of the strip club a day before, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to type in hookers, and maybe there's some funny videos on YouTube of guys, I don't know, trying to get hookers, or just, like, talking to hookers, or maybe YouTube... hookers make their own videos and talk about hooking. But for some reason, the word escorts triggered the word hookers in my brain, and I typed it in thinking we might find something, less harsh to watch at 4 in the morning on YouTube than Hitler, Saddam Hussein, or MMA or something like that. So that's what I do. And I couldn't have been more fucking wrong, because I type in hookers, and the 3rd video on the list seems like a guy just driving around videotaping hookers from his car, and I'm like, but it's in Italy, and I'm like, oh, that seems kind of interesting. I like boring YouTube videos where someone's like, a walk through Prague, and it's just like a video of them walking from one side of Prague to the other. Sounds really boring, but to me, it's almost like I watch those videos, and I'm like, cool, I never have to go to Prague now. Pretty much get it. Looks cool. So, I wanted to see what it's like to drive by hookers in Milan or wherever the fuck this guy is, right? So we watch it, and it's like instantly clear it's a creepy fucking video. Because, by the way, if you type in hookers to YouTube yourself, you will see this video. It is the 3rd one that comes up if you type in hookers. And it's called like Walking the Streets or something hookers. It's got 80,000 views. It's by this guy. So we're watching it. It's creepy. It's got this ominous music, and we're like, this is fucking weird. Then it gets to this, like, it's like 7 or 8 minutes long. He's just driving by hookers, just videotaping them as he drives by. And then he sees this one hooker. She's like a little overweight. And it says Troppo Grassa. And we're like, Troppo Grassa, and there's an X over her. And then, we Google that. We find out that means too fat in Italian. So then we're like, all right, it's definitely Italy. This is weird. So then we're like, let's check out this guy's channel. He's got a kind of a weird video. Maybe his channel's, he's with 80,000 views, maybe his channel's like great, It's not great. We go to his channel, and it's full of videos, not with 80,000 views. Most of them only have 129. Some of them only have under 100, but like not a lot of views on his videos. We're talking low hundreds to 80s, 90s views, right? He's got this one video that has 80,000 views, but for some reason most people didn't go to his channel like we did. But man, every other video on his channel can only be described as creepy as fuck and serial killer level scary. And to the point where you're like, I think this dude may be a real serial killer. And I think myself, John Paul Rivera, and Pat Barrett may have discovered him on fucking YouTube, crying for fucking help or whatever the hell he's doing. Because we sat there until 5:30 a.m. watching every video on his channel and just getting progressively more freaked the fuck out. He's got videos of him videotaping women in bookstores when they don't know he's watching, and then the video ends with like, I see you, or when I see you it's too late. He's got videos where he's showing off knives and weird torture tools, and in the comments he says, this is my kidnapping kit. Like, it's this fucking blatant. And they're videos that have been up for months and months and months, and they don't have many views. So we were high and drunk and fuck, and we decided to do Hackney detective work. We figured out he's in Milan from a couple storefronts he walked by, not to mention all the Italian that it was being spoken. But the thing is, he never speaks or shows his face. He does this thing called surveillance, man, where he goes out and walks the streets of Milan, tomato, which are both in a lot of their dishes. He goes out there and videotapes people, mostly women, and without their consent. And if they say, what are you doing? He never says anything, and he just stands there and videotapes them until they leave. It's really bizarre. And I can't, it's hard to describe. If you want to check out this guy's channel, it is that is his YouTube channel and his YouTube name. Or just type in hookers, and his video is the third video that comes up. And if you like scary stuff, get in there. So we were like, should we report this to somebody? I don't even know. So, it's 2016. We did it our way. I tweeted at Interpol and made a Reddit post to deep into YouTube, and it did pretty well on Reddit, and a lot of people got super as freaked out and upset as we did. And I'll tell you, we're some pretty cold-hearted fucks. We're stand-up comedians. We like weird shit, and we were truly creeped out and disturbed, and it was shiver-inducing. So check it out, man. I don't even care if this guy comes looking for me, because I'll fucking kill him and save the world. Jeez, I'm about to get in an accident. Wouldn't that be a horrible time for him to ram me from behind? I'm like, I don't even give a fuck. That's the funny thing. We have been talking about this so much, and we're a little bit afraid of this guy. He's gonna find us or fucking dox us or something. Just seems like a real psychopath. And if you're in Milan, Italy, or in Italy at all, I definitely recommend you check it out. And don't talk to anyone who puts a camera in your face.